Hello everybody, AVT here, and I am back with another video for Star Wars Galaxies Legends. And today we are actually here on the planet of Mustafar. Now, I didn't go over how I actually got here, because on Mustafar you can have to be a little strategic with how you get to areas. A lot of mountain ranges are actually impassable, like the one I'm standing next to here, and the lava actually does damage. So basically, you start here at the mining facility. I drove here. You can actually kind of clip underneath the lava here. So I got across here, drove across here, went across the bridge, drove all the way up north, looped around, and got here to talk to Jural. And this is going to start the quest, The Sickness of the Stormlord. And what I'm looking to do here is I'm looking to get my Mustafarian Injector. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive into it. Please don't tell me that you were on your way to join up with the Dr. Namdayot? Well, I suppose he calls himself the Stormlord now. I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about. Whew, finally. Someone with some sense. You shouldn't travel any further up this road. That madman and his followers have almost completely taken over the whole valley. The only people they even tolerate are this group of scavengers who pay occasional homage to the Stormlord. Who or what is this Stormlord you keep mentioning? I am sorry, I completely forgot my manners. I am Jural, a reporter for the Krellian Times. Perhaps you have read my column on galactic exploration. No. Anyways, I was out here reporting on Dr. Namdayot's excavation of the temple ruins up the way. There are temple ruins up there. Yes, a very large complex of them. Dr. Namdayot was uncovering some amazing finds. It would seem that those ruins were once the main temple on Mustafar. He was on the trail of something big when the change occurred. He said that he had found evidence that a powerful Jedi artifact was once housed in the temple, and that it might have something to do with why Mustafar is like it is today. You said the change occurred. It was subtle at first, barely noticeable. Sometimes you would get the feeling someone was watching you, even though you were all by yourself. Other times you would hear, well, I could swear there were voices, but they were too low to understand. Everyone was feeling it, and Dr. Namdayot was the worst of all. Go on. Dr. Namdayot started talking back to the voices. At first, when we would ask him about it, he would just chuckle and say that it was nothing. But after a while, we would catch him having conversations with nothing. When we asked him about those, he would get very angry and tell us to mind our own business. Then one day, he just walked out of the base camp and went to the Summit Temple ruins. Sounds like a good doctor just snapped. Some of us thought that too, but what happened when he came back left no doubt in my mind that those voices and strange feelings were real. The doctor was gone for a few days, and then one morning just showed back up, but he was completely different. He declared his divinity to the whole camp and ordered everyone to worship him as the Stormlord. I was right, the doctor lost his mind. Hush, let me continue. After Dr. Namdayot made this proclamation, the sky darkened, and lightning began pounding the ground around the camp. The members of the team who were feeling the effects of that place, the worst, immediately dropped to their knees and started praying to him. It took others a little longer to come around, but eventually everyone was enthralled by him. Everyone but me and my brother Talper. I was going to ask about him. He doesn't look so good. Yes, I fear he is dying. While everyone else was worshipping the Stormlord, Talper yelled at him, calling him a fraud. Dr. Namdayot looked at my brother with such venom and called him an unbeliever. Then he did something. What do you mean, something? I don't really know. One moment my brother was facing down Dr. Namdayot, and the next he was lying on the ground, writhing in pain. All the doctor did was wave his hand at him. Since then, Talper has been steadily getting worse. I don't think he will last very much longer, and as far as I can tell, there is nothing wrong with him. I can only assume that it is the doing of this Stormlord. Is there anything that I can do? Maybe, just maybe. I've been paying close attention to the goings-on in camp, and I think I have an answer. The doctor immediately began sending his worshippers out to gather up more followers, and I was wondering why. Well, it would seem that none of them survived very long. Almost all of the group of original followers are dead. I have seen their bodies. They look drained. I am not following you. I think that the doctor is doing something to his followers that drains their life away from them. Perhaps this is the source of his power. If he didn't have so many people following him, maybe he would lose strength, and he would lose power over my brother. I know it is a long shot, but it is the only thing I can think of. I will see what I can do about taking out his followers. Thank you. Try taking out some of his minions. I'm sure that if he loses enough of them, he will become weaker. Alright, so we got to take out 15 Stormlord minions. And since I saw some people drive past me just now, we'll see how this goes. One of the issues with this quest, as with a few quests in Star Wars Galaxies, is that there just are physically not enough of the enemy type spawned on the map. I'm not quite sure why the developers did this, but in this case in particular, there's not enough of them spawned on the map, and then the respawn timers are kind of long, so it's a little bit of a bummer, but we'll do our best. and we'll see about taking them out. I see one here, so I'm going to go ahead and take the time, even though apparently I'm going to aggro 400 Glismogs at the same time to take that guy out. Alright, well there's one, and a bunch of Glismogs, but we're not going to talk about that genocide that we just committed. More trained Glismogs. Usually you can find these guys more towards this lower portion of camp down here. I'm just going to keep my eyes open as we drive around, since it actually kind of looks like the Legends devs have added some. There used to not be this many out in the valley here. So my hat's off to you, Legends dev team, for making this a little better. Oh. I didn't mean to shoot that guy, but we need to kill him anyways, so. Accidental win. Perfect. I see another one right there. They did add some. This is fantastic. And we have some serious DPS output. Not bad, considering we still are missing some gear. I'll take it. Are you behind me? Looks like a Glismog. Alright, let's check this lower portion of camp. Wow, they added a ton. I'm so pleased. Thank you, dev team. All right. 8 out of 15. Making excellent progress. These guys really don't do any damage to us. Because we are exceptionally tanky. Perfect. Looks like there's a few more minions littered along the hillside here. These are those scavengers that Bothan was talking about. Man, Devastation does so much damage. That's why the Juggernaut build hits so hard. One more. Oops. I didn't mean to summon my instant travel vehicle. Oh. Whatever. Scavenger, scavenger, scavenger. There are minions up there? There are minions up there. We'll head up there. I'm going to make sure not to kill the guy in the tower. That's going to be part of the next quest, which is usually where the difficulty lies in getting this done. Perfect. Now we need to return to Jural. Alright, back to Jural. Let's tell her that we were successful in eliminating some of the minions. Anything good in terms of loot? I guess. So a lot of these faintly glowing objects, they're not actually junk loot like a lot of other standard junk loot in this game. They're a special kind of junk loot that you only get on Mustafar, and they're used in the Chu Gondar Cube, which that's a whole nother quest line. That's a whole nother aspect of the game that we can talk about at a later point. But if you decide that you want to save them, go ahead. It's really up to you. I'm not going to be saving them yet unless I get a special item, which the odds are pretty low. You are back. How did your mission go? It's been taken care of. How is your brother? There hasn't been any change in his condition. Maybe the minions just are not powerful enough to have any effect on Dr. Namdeot's strength. I think we are going to have to aim higher. I am listening. Not all of the Stormlord's original worshippers died. Some of them took on traits that are very similar to his. I call them zealots. They are fanatic in their worship of the Doctor. Maybe their strength adds to his somehow. If they were eliminated, maybe Talper would get better. I will hunt down these zealots for you. Be careful. When I said they took on some of the traits of the Stormlord, I meant it. I have seen them do some very strange things. Alright, so now I'm going to head back to that tower I was just at, because there is a zealot in that tower. Luckily, even though you have to turn this quest in every time that you do a portion of it, it's not a very far drive. So this is the tower we were just at, where we took out those minions at the base. Perfect, and the zealot is still inside. Let's go take him out. Alright, one. And then there should be, right into the wall like an idiot, there should be a large cluster of zealots up here in this upper portion of camp. There's a zealot right here. Looks like somebody may have cleaned this out recently, so we might have a little bit of trouble here. Well, that's cheating. Alright. Now we'll head up to the top portion of the camp. This is where the Stormlord himself is. Or excuse me, he's in here. So we'll be careful not to accidentally aggro the Stormlord. I don't want to have to wait for that respawn if I don't have to. I know these aren't zealots, but I'm just going to clear these minions out. Awesome. Oh, looks like the Stormlord's already dead. Somebody recently took him out. Hopefully we get lucky with a respawn here soon. Looks like there's more people here as well. Oh, zealots are respawning down there. Run! If you haven't noticed, this is a rather popular questline. Mustafarian Injector is pretty much a must-have buff item for any endgame character, because it does not share a buff slot with any other item in the game, so you can always have it active. Well, I shouldn't say any other item, but with most other important items in the game. Oh, I want to aggro those guys. Thank you. Alright, if I have to stand fast here, I will, but it's still not working. Which I might, because my heal just misfired. Yeah, I'm just gonna pop it. No point in getting myself killed for no reason. Wow, my heal misfired again. That's really unfortunate. Good thing I have healing stems. Alright, who am I still fighting? I can't even see. Looks like there's one more guy up here. Please work, heal. Thank you. Can I hit her on the wall here so I can shoot this guy, please? There we go. Looks like there's already somebody waiting for the Stormlord to respawn. Hello. Okay, there's another zealot right here. That would be fantastic. So if I can get this zealot, I only need one more, and there is another outlying tower where there should be another zealot. Where did... Okay, never mind. I kind of feel like there were two inside of each other there because I did not see the other one. But that went surprisingly smooth. Let's head back to Jural and get the next step of the quest. Alrighty, here we are. I could hear the sounds of battle all the way down here. I was afraid that you wouldn't make it back. Don't worry about me. I am no stranger to a fight. Well, the good news is that Talper looks a little better today. I think our plan is working. The problem is we're just not doing enough. Which got me to thinking, if the Zealots help strengthen the Stormlord, then maybe the more fanatic the worshipper is, the more powerful he becomes. You want me to take out some more Zealots? No, I was thinking of someone who is more fanatical than all the Zealots combined, the Prophet. He has a prophet? Yes, Dr. Namdayat no longer directly speaks to his followers. Instead, he only talks to his most devoted follower, who then preaches to all the others. I think if you were to defeat the Prophet, the Stormlord would be so weak that he couldn't maintain control over Talper's sickness. Once more into the brink. Now, I must warn you, the Prophet is nearly as strong as Dr. Namdayat is, and he will fight to the death to protect his master. This is no small challenge that I have asked of you. Good luck. Alright, back we go. So, we'll see if my memory serves me, but I believe the Prophet is located in a tower on the backside of the main compound. Let's see if I'm right. So there's like the lower portion of the compound. This is the tower I'm talking about. I believe he's in here. It has been some time since I've done this. Yeah, this is where he should be, and it looks like somebody has recently taken him down. So, I'm just going to hang out here for a little bit, and I will be back with you once the Stormlord has respawned. Or the Prophet, excuse me. Alright, so here we go. The Prophet of the Stormlord has respawned. Let's get in there. He's got 2 guards. I'm not really worried about them at all. I'm just going to let my AoE damage kind of take them out. There we go. Just like that. Dropped. Alright, back to Jural we go. Just going to try and kind of loop around the camp here. This is also one of the few planets I know of where the NPCs will actually kind of actively target your speeder. So be kind of careful when you're driving through mobs of certain enemies, because it's a good way to get your speeders blown up. And when you got a swoop like me, it doesn't really matter. These things are incredibly cheap, and they're very easy to repair, but if you have something a little fancier that's going to require a vehicle repair kit, you just want to be very vigilant of where you're driving so you don't accidentally have to blow a lot of credits for no reason. We will definitely have to work on getting ourselves a fancier speeder at some point in time. Oh, terrain negotiation shoes. That's actually going to make you a little bit faster. I haven't seen those in a very long time. Alright. I was very worried about you. I know the Prophet is no ordinary thug. The good news is that Talper actually opened his eyes for a little while. That is how I knew you had won. Yeah, I beat the Prophet, so is Talper going to be alright? I don't know. He still has a fever and hasn't opened his eyes since that one time. I'm afraid that there is only one way to be certain. I must ask you to kill the Stormlord. I figured it would come to this. Where is he? He never leaves the temple at the top of the mountain anymore. I am sure that all your prior efforts have weakened him. Now is the perfect time to strike before you can regain any strength. Good luck to you. Alright, now we strike at the Stormlord himself. Which I'm pretty sure those two guys I just saw over there just finished killing him, so we'll see how this goes. He might not be there for some time. Yep, it looks like the Stormlord is dead. So I'm going to go ahead, I'll just clear out some of his guards, and then we'll wait for the respawn. Just don't want to accidentally aggro any of these guys while I'm fighting him, since the Stormlord is a tougher opponent. I don't want to set myself up for failure here. As you can see, because I have show all object names turned on still, there is a collection item in there with the Stormlord as well, if you want to gather it while you're here. Oh, let's take these guys out too, why not? We've got time. Alright, so now we wait. I will be back with you once again once the Stormlord has respawned. Alright, everybody, here we go. The Stormlord has respawned, and we're going to go ahead and jump into this fight. Make sure we get our dots stacked up on him. Now, you really need to make sure that you're vigilant here, because the Stormlord actually does hit pretty hard. Go ahead and early pop stand fast. That way I can use it to mitigate further damage. Keep our dots stacking up here. Alright, doing pretty well so far. Make sure we keep our health up. Keep our dots up. Ooh, that hit pretty hard. Just need to be very methodical with our abilities here to make sure we don't have any heals misfire or anything. That would be absolutely devastating. Pop a heal stim. Looks like our stim armor's back up. Use my heal again. Keep the mines down, and there we go. We have defeated the Stormlord. Let's go ahead, head back over to Jural. So just a little tip I like to point out when playing Commando is you want to use your stand fast kind of strategically, right? If you're going to come into a fight like that where you're fighting the Stormlord and you know it's going to do quite a bit of damage, what I recommend doing is once you can get away with about 2 heals worth of damage, go ahead and pop your stand fast. That way, while you're receiving a significant amount less damage, you can use your heals to get yourself back up to full health. That way, once your stand fast runs out, you should be ready to heal again once you start taking more damage. If you use your stand fast right away and you haven't taken any damage, you're not going to be using your heals, so you're not going to be maximizing the efficiency on your cooldowns. But anyways, here we are, back at Jural. You did it! Tulper is already feeling better. He is still extremely weak, and it will take him a while to recover. But I can tell he's going to make it. He is going to make it. You are very brave to help us out like this. Think nothing of it. No, it was something. Please, take this as a payment for saving the life of my brother. Thank you again. Perfect. So now we have what we came for. We were here for this Mustafarian Injector. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to biolink the item since I'm going to be using on this character, and I'm going to activate it. It's completely reusable, and I'll show you what it does. Now that I've activated it, you get this buff right here, Advanced Protection. Your abilities have increased. Strength modified by 100 points on a commando. Excellent stat, additional block. Precision modified by 100 points. Excellent stat. It just gives you more damage. So, we now have the Mustafarian Injector, and we are that much closer to late game. I'm going to go ahead and drag it up here with the rest of my... I said up here, please. The rest of the items that I keep. But that's going to do it for this video. So as always, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Feel free to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.